If your boss at work is a woman, there are a couple of things that you have to keep in mind. And if your boss is a woman who's either currently sleeping with somebody high up in the company or she has slept her way up the ladder, so to speak, then this message is especially for you. And before I get into this, please, let's not pretend that this never happens and that women never sleep their way into positions where they don't belong. You know it and I know it. It happens more often than what any of us would like to admit. Now, first of all, I will always be the first one to tell you that as a man, it is your duty to be the best at whatever job it is that you do. If you're a salesman at work, you have to be the best salesman. If you're a technician or whatever else it is that you do, you make sure that you're the best, regardless of who you report to. Now, with that being said, let's get into it. Number one, how she feels about you is all that matters. Not your performance, not your work ethics, not your experience, not your expertise, or whatever other rational metric that you thought of. None of those matter. How long you will have a job will only depend on how you make her feel. Now, the good news is that women, in general, are far more susceptible to confirmation bias than men. So if she hired you, you're starting out with a relationship that is 100% in good standing. The bad news is that it's downhill from there. But you can control the speed at which that relationship deteriorates, okay? So now we have to ask the question, what are the types of things that will deteriorate your relationship with your female boss? Number one, correcting your boss when she makes a mistake. Pointing out that an idea or a project or a procedure that she wants to implement at work won't work, or that it will have a negative impact on the success of the business. This is not a good idea. It doesn't matter how bizarre some of her ideas or instructions may sound. Especially in meetings in front of other people, you never ever correct your female boss at work. You always let her ideas play out. She has to realize on her own that it was a bad idea. The moment that you point out something's wrong, you have just deducted points from your relationship with your female boss, and you are now one step closer to being on your way out. So never ever do that. Other things that will eat away at your relationship with your female boss are disagreements on moral issues. For example, she's pro-vaccine, she's an outspoken feminist, she is her husband's boss, she thinks that the alphabet community are great people, she's anti-gun, she's pro-big government, she thinks socialism is a great idea. All those things that you may disagree on, you better keep them to yourself. Should it come out that you disagree on these types of things, she's going to develop bitter feelings for you very quickly. And this will ultimately lead to her looking for ways to get rid of you. When you look at the guys who have been reporting to a woman for years and years without any issues, you'll always notice the same thing about those guys. They don't have a backbone. They don't stand for anything, and they fall for everything. And they have also submitted to their own wives at home as well. So now you come along with an opinion on something, you're going to make yourself a target. To your female boss, your past accomplishments mean absolutely nothing. Men tend to remember what people have done for them in the past. And with men, years of dedication, sacrifice, and hard work will carry you very far on the days, months, or even years that you're not able to step up. Your female boss only remembers the good that she did for you and the bad things that you did to her. Any good that you've done for her or the company is immediately forgotten. And so is anything bad that she may have done to you. Your sacrifices never even made her list. And last but not least, you can always tell how your female boss feels about you, because how she feels about you is how she'll treat you. And let me finish off by saying that I understand that there are exceptions. I know there are women out there who think more rationally than a lot of guys and who don't let their emotions get the better of them. I also understand that there are men out there who are emotional wrecks, but the things that I say are true in general. I don't give advice for the exceptions. I've been working for 22 years. I've reported to 4 women in that time. and this has always been the case. The people that I speak to, both men and women, have all testified to the same things that I've said here. Just recently, I ran into a retired CCMA commissioner from the Northwest where I used to live. And you know what he told me? He told me that when a man comes to the CCMA who has a female boss that has dismissed him, and he's worked there for 4, 5, or 6 years, and then all of a sudden, he's just suddenly dismissed with 4 or 5 dismissible offenses. The first thing that CCMA commissioner asks for is always the history of offenses. Where is his final written warning? And in 90% of the cases, the man that is suddenly dismissed by a woman has no outstanding disciplinary action against him, no prior disciplinary action against him. There are no previous final written warnings. But all of a sudden, overnight, the guy's got 4 or 5 dismissible offenses laid against him. So in general, reporting directly to women is like prison politics or high school politics, but the consequences are that you lose your job. Now, despite the world trying their best to convince you otherwise, there are in fact major differences between men and women. And pretending like those differences do not exist will only hinder your understanding of people and your success. So don't be stupid. And don't let your emotions ruin your ability to see the forest for the trees.